weekdays for next day delivery from trustedppe.co.uk. Together, we've got this. Minimum order applies. Rated excellent on Trustpilot.
Sarah's smiling because Jack the florist is open with her favourite flowers again. Jack's smiling because he's back selling flowers again. Robin's smiling because Jack's back at the wholesalers buying flowers again. All along the high street there are smiles behind masks because business is looking up again. And if you're looking to upgrade your Val pickup, now's the time to do it. Take advantage of a £1,000 upgrade saving, 0% APR representative finance, and 3 months deferred payment on Ford Acquire. It's 3 promotions in one, and it runs until the 30th of June. We're with you on this journey. Ford Commercial Vehicles. Search Backbone and Bristol.
Model exclusions and deposit restrictions may apply. Request all credit. For Jan, using her towels feels like this. Wouldn't it be great if it was like this? At Donnell, our Egyptian cotton towels have a 5-year guarantee, staying soft and fluffy from just £3. Donnell, value you can believe in. Shop online or in store. At Vodafone, we understand the power of connections. Like those children making their brains every day. Every time a child learns something new, a new connection is made. But to make those connections, children need to be connected. That's why we're donating thousands of 4G dongles and asking you to donate unwanted smartphones and tablets. Search Vodafone Tech Appeal today and help a child connect and learn. Vodafone, together we can. For info and terms, visit vodafone.co.uk/tech appeal.
Wimbledon Crown Stamp Duty Holiday extended by Galliard until 2022. GalliardHomes.com, that's GalliardHomes.com. Applies on the first £100,000 of any new purchase.
Make Ferrari breakfast on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
Easing our way out of lockdown. 7:21, your reactions in just a moment. Let me walk you through the front pages of the newspapers, the majority of which still reflect, of course, the news of the death of President. All the reaction now afterwards is more senior members of the royal family give their views. And that line that I put down is the front page of the Daily Mail. Sophie Wessex, a picture of her there. It was so gentle, like someone took her by the hand and off we went. She's also the front page of the Daily Mail. It was so such gentle, it was like someone today. She was rather like a picture of Prince Philip and the Countess of Wessex, and there it is on the front page of the Daily Express. It was so gentle, like someone took her by the hand and off we went. Very, very peaceful. The Metro goes more with the line of how Her Majesty the Queen is reported to have granted a huge void in the Queen's life, is what Prince Andrew said. Yes, that was his first appearance. Of course, he is a raving son. It is desperately sad. The heart reached out to him on that level. But I think the family probably have a bit of an issue in the house as to how they manage the appearance of the Duke of York, because there are still many rest of the professional matters involved with other matters, which I don't need to go into now, but you know where I'm going with all that, so that has to be carefully negotiated over this chance. There's that line from the front page of the Daily Telegraph. Queen says Duke's death has left a huge void in her life. And that's the front page of the Times as well. Their second lead, or their second biggest story on the front page has been arguably and possibly of greater interest this morning, at least, as a former Prime Minister admits that he was mistaken to have lobbied ministers informally on behalf of the financial experience, claiming he's done nothing wrong. We're going to look at that in more detail in the show, and indeed I'll be asking you how your attitude or view of David Cameron might have changed. I appreciate his handling over the Brexit referendum has, for many of you, left probably an indelible stain on his record as Prime Minister. One thing I thought you could have said about the bloke was that he was a fairly straight shooter, if you know what I mean. And I'm not implying that he's broken any rules here, but should we just say there's a little whiff about him, if you know what I'm saying? Front page of the Sun, very touching picture. Dash Harry, and this is a picture of Harry some time ago, speaking closely to his now late grandfather, Prince Philip. This, as is reported, that Prince Harry has arrived. He'll have to, of course, complete 5 days of isolation before he can attend that funeral on Saturday. We're talking more about that later in the show. And the eye goes with the lockdown caution urged as shutters come up. And lastly, The Guardian, and I appreciate that you're not going to have a massive, I get it, I understand it, that you're not going to have a massive royal support in readership of The Guardian, but not to have a word on the front page, not a word, when you've got that very powerful line. Someone, it was as if someone took Prince Philip by the hand, or you got the line from the Queen, is urgent. Boris Johnson saying be careful, AFTA's 2021. I don't know. That seems a strange one to me. We're talking about the wrong thing. We'll come to your reaction to the concerning the easing of lockdown, as I call it. But let's pick up on developments as we get closer, of course, to that royal funeral. And as you already heard here at LBC, it looks like the Phillips body will be born in a specially adapted Land Rover, which just seems extraordinarily fitting to the man. Charlotte Lynch is our reporter outside Windsor Castle. Charlotte, good morning.
Nick, as the lawn here at the gates of Windsor Castle brimmed with bouquets of flowers for the entire weekend, with hundreds of well-wishers from all generations and nationalities coming to show an outpouring of respect for the Duke of Edinburgh. We heard some of those closest to him, his children, speaking publicly about their loss and how the Queen is coping too. Prince Andrew taking questions on camera for the first time since stepping back from royal duties in November 2019, saying the Queen had described the loss of her husband of 73 years as having left a huge void in her life as he paid tribute to his father.
He was a remarkable man. I loved him as a father. He was so calm. If you had a problem, he would think about it. And that's the great thing that I always think about it, is there was always something you could go to and you would always listen. So that's a great loss. I think the way I would put it is that we've lost almost the grandfather of the nation. And I feel very sorry and supportive of my mother, who's feeling it, I think, probably more than everybody else.
The Duke of York was speaking after attending a private Sunday church service here in Windsor, alongside his brother Edward, the Earl of Wessex, and his wife Sophie, Countess of Wessex, who was also full of admiration for the Queen. Thinking of others before herself.
That's always, yes. So, but bearing up, but again, you know, it's just that wave of affection for him, and just those lovely stories. They just mean so much, and you know, the tributes have been just fantastic, and that's really, really important, and we really do appreciate it. So,
and I think it's so lovely for so many people to learn about what he did, because I think quite a lot of things that have come out would have surprised some people, and how intrinsic he was to every element of society, if you look at it.
Sophie told staff the Duke's passing had been very peaceful, as though someone had taken his hand and off he went. Over the course of the weekend, Prince Charles also paid tribute to his father, praising his remarkable, devoted service to the Queen, his family and country. Princess Anne describing her father yesterday as her teacher, supporter and her critic. Now, Her Majesty the Queen attended a private Sunday Mass in Windsor Castle yesterday, where she said prayers for her husband of 73 years. She at the forefront of the minds of the hundreds, if not thousands of people who came here over the course of the weekend, as COVID restrictions, of course, prevent Her Majesty from being surrounded by family through this terrible time. Many of the flowers and cards laid addressed to her as well as her husband. Now, inside, funeral preparations are well underway, but it will of course be a small scaled back affair here at St George's Chapel in Windsor, in line with COVID regulations, always the way the Duke of Edinburgh had wanted it, without fuss. He will not receive a state funeral, nor will he lie in state, and only 30 people will be in attendance. We know the Prime Minister Boris Johnson, not one of them, and it's reported but not confirmed that Prince Harry has now arrived in the UK from California without his wife Meghan, who is pregnant, to leave enough time for him to allow a 5-day period of isolation in line with restrictions.
Charlotte Lynch reporting from outside Windsor Castle. In the next hour, we're looking at that aspect that Charlotte just mentioned, Prince Harry, how that is to be handled, of course. And indeed, also see how to handle Duke of York as well. They have some issues, don't they, ahead of Saturday. All right, the country is opening up. Mike in Beverley, are you celebrating or are you nervous? How will you describe your emotion? Good morning.
Hi. No, I think that they're progressing about the right speed. I think that we could domestically perhaps just push it a little bit quicker if nothing goes wrong. But I'm concerned about foreign travel and keeping various out of the country is my main concern.
These are the 8,000, if it's an average day, and 8,000 people who will arrive in this country from overseas, who of course do have to follow. If the government were here, they would say, well, we've got very tough quarantine measures and they're going to have to take tests, and indeed if they're coming from certain countries, they're going to have to isolate. How would you respond to what the government would say, Mike?
I think that there are too many. We should be tougher with the quarantine, and we should be tougher
task, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but my initial response to that was that instead of telling people to stay in hotels, they should have put leg tags on them and let them go home and monitoring them from home, and then it wouldn't have been expensive for people, and we could have guaranteed that they were where they should be.
They should have put what on them? Sorry, I didn't hear. What did you
There's
say?
a little tag then, so there's the same way to tag prisoners, so they could put a deposit on a tag, and if they did as they were told for 10 days, then you give them the deposit back, and you can monitor where they are. It doesn't cost them anything.
Who's going to monitor them?
Well, it's the same way we monitor prisoners when we put tags on prisoners.
So, welcome to England, or Britain, I'm sorry, where we treat you as if you're a prisoner.
Yes, well, if we're asking them to stay in a hotel, we're asking them to pay for the privilege of staying in a hotel for 10 days, but if we gave them the tag, they could go home or stay with
Are you talking about people who live here already?
Well, no, they would isolate at home, wouldn't they?
No, but sorry, I think we're... What about overseas visitors, though? What would you do with them?
I wouldn't be allowing overseas visitors in unless they were on essential business.
Yeah, but where would they go then? Where do they go to?
Well, where do they go now is the question.
They have to go to a hotel, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, but people aren't. There's people of dual nationality who are getting in and wandering around and going and staying with friends.
Right, okay, so well, let's see if others agree. Sort of universal tagging for quite a lot of money, but if you obey the rules, you get your money back. See how many people agree with Mike. It's an idea. Thank you. We'll take your views on that. Also coming up after the news, it's called a ticking time bomb of missed cancer cases.
Since the pandemic started, across the UK, 44,000 people who should have started treatment but haven't, and most of those is living with cancer but without knowing it.
But more on that after the news. That was Head of Policy at Cancer Research, by the way, Kruti Chowdhury. It's 7:31. You're listening to Breakfast with Neil Ferrari here on LBC. Let's get the news with Simon Conway.
Boris Johnson is urging people to continue to behave responsibly in a major easing of England's coronavirus rules. Pubs and restaurants can begin serving customers outdoors. Non-essential shops, gyms, hairdressers and nail salons can also reopen, as well as swimming pools, theme parks and zoos. All shops can resume trading in Wales, where people can now also travel to other parts of the UK, and all remaining school pupils across Britain will return to face-to-face teaching. The Duke of Edinburgh will be remembered at Westminster, Holyrood, Cardiff and Stormont later. Parliaments and legislative assemblies are returning early from Easter, so tributes can be paid to Prince Philip, who died on Friday at the age of 99. And the weather dry for many, cloudier in the south with some outbreaks of rain, sleet and snow, which will clear through the morning. Elsewhere, sunny spells and scattered showers, a high of 11 degrees.
This is LBC.
5. The Kia countdown to going hybrid has started. 4. With 4 stunning hybrid cars, including the Kia Sportage, Exceed, Niro and Stonic. 3. All come with 3 amazing offers until the end of May. 2. First 2 services free, 2 years roadside assistance. 1. And the big one? 0. That's right, 0% APR. It's time to go hybrid with Kia. Search Go Hybrid with Kia today. Kia. Movement that inspires. 0% APR available over 24 months with minimum 20% deposit. Kia Finance.
Now we're gradually coming out of lockdown. We can finally get out of the house and do some of the things we've all been missing. Like meeting friends over a takeaway coffee or visiting family for a barbecue. Around 1 in 3 people who have COVID-19 have no symptoms and are spreading it without knowing. That could be your friend, relative, or even you. Help stop the spread by reducing travel and meeting outside. Let's take this next step safely. Remember, hands, face, space, and fresh air.
The Seven Dwarfs were in a bit of a pickle. With the mines closing down, their finances were somewhat fickle. They looked to downsize their home fast, so Snow White could make her debts a thing of the past.
Boys, the cottage is looking well rough.
So they spoke to the friendly team at Property Rescue, who buy properties in any condition and can offer a guaranteed sale in as little as 2 days, hassle-free. Fast forward to living happily ever after. Visit propertyrescue.co.uk. Property Rescue. Fast forward to sold.
For Reggie, measuring for curtains is like this. Oh, wouldn't it be great if it was like this?
Thanks.
At Dunelm, our made-to-measure curtains start from just £65. Plus, we offer fitters to do all the measuring for you. Dunelm, value you can believe in. Shop online or in store.
New Vodafone Pro broadband. The only broadband with super Wi-Fi features for reliable Wi-Fi in every room. Or you can leave for free, guaranteed. So whether you're learning in the loft or streaming from the sofa, now you can be unstoppable with new Vodafone
business and understand what makes it tick. You'll talk to your contact partner regularly. And what's more, they'll make sure you're not missing out on your tax reliefs, so that you only pay the tax you need to, not more. Now that's got to be a conversation worth having. No wonder many businesses of Greater London love talking to Barnes Roaf. Clever accountants for business. Visit barnesroaf.com.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
7:35, back to your views of the easing of restrictions in England in a moment. Back to the world of business and finance and bring into the conversation Investment Director at AJ Bell, Russ Mould, who joins me now. And I see yet another study, and there have been no shortage of them actually, Russ, suggesting that the economy will bounce back at quite a pace, which is the latest company or organisation saying it this morning. Russ, good morning.
We've heard this from Andy Haldane, Bank of England's chief economist, before. He's talked about the UK economy being a coiled spring. You've got people talking about a return to the roaring 20s, and a lot of it's based on the fact that the British people have managed to save about £180 billion over the last 12 months by those who've been lucky enough to keep their jobs and not be furloughed under stress and been at home, well paid, and their commuting expenses have gone down. They've been saving twice as much as normal. So the expectation is those people will be looking to dash out and spend, certainly initially. After that, much will depend upon the vaccine, how people behave and how safe they feel. But the initial expectation is people will be dashing out, and that's what the stock market's looking for. FTSE 100 is pretty much at its highest level since before the pandemic. Some of the best performing stocks in the last year have been things like Kingfisher and also the British Airways partner, British Airways owner IAG. So the stock market's looking for better times ahead.
And it was Deloitte that had these findings, which also said that they 2/3 of bosses expect the bulk of their workforces return to the office. I stress those three words, to the office by Q3, third quarter of this year. Again, is that broadly what the men and women of the city, is that roughly where you guys are?
I think it is. And, you know, my lady wife works for a fashion company, and they're already in the office 1 to 2 days a week, and step it up so they can do things like brand service, make sure they've got the right product for the right customer at the right price. And I think we will start to see people bringing back. I mean, I love my little home office here. I'm very lucky to have it. I'm lucky that I haven't been furloughed or lost my job. But I am sick of the sight of it, and I am actually quite keen to get into the office myself in London at some stage, even if it means commuting up from Brighton.
All right. Tell me how Home Base are rolling out their offering.
Yeah, well, they're looking to do an experiment with Next. So they'll be putting seeds, trowels and gardening equipment into Next shops, 6 shops as a trial. They're also looking to expand some of their smaller outlets to do kitchens and decorating stuff. I guess Next gets to fill some space, of which it's got no shortage at the moment.
Yeah.
Homebase gets a bigger shop window for itself. And I guess you think, well, people really want to buy a t-shirt with a trowel, but then I guess they do that in major supermarkets anyway. And Homebase itself's names in the headlines for another reason. Pizza Express Hugh Osmond thought to be having a look at it. It's been owned by the owner of Distress Assets Hilco's for a couple of years. They bought Homebase for £1 after a disastrous period in Australia on shipping for another.
I hear what you say about t-shirt and trowel, but honestly, Russ, if I told you a number of years ago you'd have legions of people on bicycles who will bring you a cup of coffee from your local coffee store or your hamburger, the way business develops is forever, ever fascinating. Russ, we'll talk tomorrow. Russ Mould is Investment Director at AJ Bell.
This is LBC. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet at LBC. Text 84850.
So it's go gangbusters UK, but will it be the truth? A coiled spring, £180 billion ready to spend? You'll hear from veteran business